Good thing I can sound mix properly. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to part 4 of Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. On the last time with Link's Awakening, we did some frustrating things, but we prepared ourselves for Tail Cave. So let's not waste any time. Just get in there, and let's go. Level 1, Tail Cave. These are levels, and these are Buzzy Beetles. I don't know what they're doing here, migrating from DK Island, but they're here, and we get a small key. So it can get a locked door, or it can open a locked door. Actually, not get a locked door, but we can open a locked door, actually. And this is typically where the game starts to get a little bit challenging if you're in hero mode, but I'm in normal mode because I'm a puss. Anyway, we get the compass. So, the compass here not only shows us where treasure chests are, but it also shows us where the boss is. But more importantly, it shows us where a key is, if there's a key to be collected here. So, if there's ever a key that you need to get, the compass will let you know. Like right there. There's something that in this room that we can get. We don't know if it's a key or not. It probably is. But we'll see where it goes. It probably definitely is a key, but, you know, we'll see how that is. It is. Right, so we got 2 keys. And I believe we want to actually go over to the right first. Hello. Hello, skeletons. They will dodge your attacks. So what do? You back them against the corner. And you murder them. Simple as that. And in here, you'll find the map. At last, you got a map. Press minus to look at it. And you get a full layout of what the dungeon is like. Now, you want to remember these particular things. So obviously the chest icons are where treasure chests are going to be. This particular door right here is a one-way door. There is a way to this big old room from here. But just so you know that this is a one-way door. Just like this. And it could lead you into trouble. You never know. Die. Thank you. You got a little more dorm right here. Bye. You get a chest, and it's another key. Something that you could potentially be worried about here is, am I going to run out of keys? Well, don't worry about a thing, because I believe that keys, you'll get just the right amount of keys that you need in order to open all the doors in a dungeon, so don't worry. Joy! Joy! Anyway, Tail Cave is just basically here to get you introduced to the dungeon world. What these games' dungeons are going to be like. And if you ever played classic 2D Zelda before, then you should know by now what these are like. Or any 2D Zelda-like games. Like a game I keep mentioning, Blossom Tales. Very good 2D Zelda clone. Play it, please. I streamed it. And the VODs are on my YouTube, so go ahead and check them out if you want to see some interesting things. Spinies. You wonder what they're doing here from... you wonder what they're doing here from the Pokemon universe, but here they are, I guess. And very thankfully, I got that rupee by just swinging at it. Now, here's something you don't see every day. Goombas. Yeah, Goombas ripped straight out of, you know, the universe where Metroid is. So, of course, stomping on their head is obviously the key. Or, you know, just killing them with your sword is also another good strategy. And you have those weird little side-scrolling areas, which, again, very unique thing for Zelda. Very unique. Well, it's not necessarily unique because Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link did it first. But for a core Zelda title of this style, it's unique. Rock's Feather. Always have been, always will be. It feels like your body is a lot lighter. This is an item that you can select with the X or Y button. And I kind of wish it had its own dedicated button, because Rock's Feather you'll be using a lot. Because this allows you to jump. Just like with the Rock's Feather and Link to the Past, which... Oh boy, I'm spoiled myself with what items you get in Link to the Past. Because I've only played the first 2 hours. Just like in Link to the Past, you can use this to jump. And because of that, clearing gaps will be a lot easier now. So, yeah. Even though Rock's Feather is an incredibly useful item that you'll be using throughout the rest of the game, I definitely did wish that it did have its own dedicated button. There was already like a dedicated button for like the sword and the shield and a bunch of other items too that we'll be seeing later down the road, or at least a couple of other items. But they really could have used like the left trigger buttons, like the L or ZL button, to do it. To use Rock's Feather. I wouldn't have minded that, actually. Like, that would have been in a good use of it, so that you wouldn't have to keep swapping out to use the Rock's Feather. Well, actually, it's pretty much guaranteed that you'll be using Rock's Feather either way. And that will typically take up an item slot. So, yeah, a little bit disappointed that it's not a dedicated button, but, you know, it is what it is. It's fine. Anyway, let's open this up. See what we got in here. We got those little hot fireball things that glide upon the walls of a room. And we got a mini-boss. We got a mini-boss, which we can easily take care of with the piece of power. Bye. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Fairy. So, with this, you got a fairy in a bottle. Set it free anytime you want to get healed. But more importantly than that, if you stored it within a bottle and you die, this fairy will heal you up automatically, so it technically won't count as a death. So, yeah, I didn't even get to properly explain that mini-boss before we go over to explain this little thing right here. I want to talk about that mini-boss for a second. Because that mini-boss was called... It was called the Spike Roller. Basically, you had to use the Rock's Feather in order to jump over its spikes, over its spike bar, and then that would be your opportunity to attack it. But because I got the piece of power, it was so easy. Believe me, it was so much, it could be so much harder than that, especially in hero mode. But anyway, here is a warp point. So if you ever need to go back for anything, here's your opportunity to do so. Because the warp point will warp you back to the entrance of the dungeon, absolutely no problem. Typically, this is where mini-bosses are. Well, typically this is where mini-bosses come into handy, because after defeating them, generally a warp point will activate. And, well, there it is. It'll take you to the mini-boss's room. And also, it will give you an entrance it give you a way back to the entrance. So pretty cool. Here we got an enemy called Three of a Kind, where we had to match up Three of a Kind. I matched up the hearts, so I got a treasure chest. And here's a stone beak, another item that you'll be typically finding in dungeons. So the stone beak, if you attach it to an owl statue, it will give you hints. Like, turn aside the spined ones with a shield. He's basically saying, use the shield against the spinies in order to flip them over and attack them. Ow. So that's cool. There are a bunch of owl statues like this that will give you various hints. And we'll be checking them out as we go along. But first, let's use this key. And we want to go over here, because that gives us the nightmare key. Now you can open the door to the nightmare's lair. I just like saying lair like that. Like lair. Like, all cool. And evil, like lair. I love it. I love it. Oh, man. But anyway, don't worry about the crack in the wall for now. Don't worry about that, because we'll be dealing with that later. This is the one room that we didn't go over to. These will crumble if you stay on them for too long. So, nothing really special about that room. You just defeat all the keys in order to move on. And with that, we pretty much got all the dungeon except for this portion, which again we'll go to later. This particular dungeon explored, all the treasures gotten, so nothing left to do but to take on the good old boss. See, these dungeons aren't really that particularly long, and I appreciate that. I very much appreciate that design choice of not making the dungeons like 2 hours long. Or maybe even like 30 minutes long. You know, something that could particularly take you like an hour. I keep mentioning different timestamps because, you know, as you get further and further to the game, obviously the dungeons are going to be a lot more complicated and a lot more long, as they say. So, you know, it's definitely something. I want to kill these things. I want to kill these skeletons, but I can't because, you know, I can't kill the skeletons. Oh, well. I guess we can't kill anything. We can't have everything that we could ever possibly want. But yeah, Tail Cave, not really that bad. Just to get you, it's just basically here to get you started on seeing what lies ahead. And speaking of lies ahead, I almost got murdered. Buzz Outsider! Moldorm! You remember this guy from Link to the Past, but he's actually a lot easier here. So basically, hit its tail, and the Moldorm will speed up. You can't hit it when it's sped up like that. So, just be aware of that. And once again, if this was hero mode, this would be a lot harder, but again, I'm a big fat scary cat. So keep on hitting it plenty and plenty of times, and it will get faster and faster and faster, and I believe this will be the last hit. Yes, it is. Not really hard. And with that, the first dungeon, just like that, is done. And of course, after every boss fight, you get a heart container that will fill you up and increase your maximum amount of hearts. And in here is the 8-bit instrument that we've been waiting for. swamp. A path opens in the blooms. We did it, y'all. We did it. We did our first dungeon, everybody. Not really bad for our first outing. Hoot! That is an instrument of the sirens. I have to admit, at first I did not believe you were real. Well, believe me, I'm very much real. That instrument, along with the 7 others in the set, has the power to wake the windfish. You must collect them all. I was instructed to give you directions. Your next goal is north, in Bogoponga Swamp. Yeah, there it is. Hoot! Dude! You know, I like this owl. He said indeed, so I can very much appreciate an artiste of the fine words, such as deed, you know, because I love me my indeeds. Now that we have Rock's Feather, we can jump over gaps like these. Absolutely no problem. And that will allow us to do some other really cool things, too. Oh, geez. What have they gotten into now? Hey, buddy! It's serious! Yeah, really serious! Yeah, it is. The moblins came to the village! Yeah, that's right. A whole gang of moblins! Then it's real. It's for real. They all went to the house. Yeah, that house, and they did something at Bow Wow's house. It was a really bad scene with the moblins. So I mean, it might be faster to find out for yourself what happened. Well, that definitely is true. It's true. It's terrible. My Bow Wow's been dog-mapped by moblins! Oh! Please! Somebody help my poor Bow Wow! Oh no, not the dog! What is this music? I don't like it. Oh no! You need help. Fox, can you help me? Yep, yep! All your yens, yep, yep, yep. Okay, that's fair. Marin, what about you? Link, Terran's taking a nap at home. I don't know how much you can sleep all in one day. Makes me want to sing a song. Yes, the song is called Ballad of What? Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can sing. That's fine. But we got a situation here. We got to get rid of this bad music. I mean, rescue Bow Wow. Yeah, that's what we got to do. Yeah, not get rid of the terrible music. We got to save. We gotta save. Anyway, next time on Link's Awakening, we're gonna go over and rescue Bow Wow wherever he might be. Oh boy. See you guys on next time. Thank you for watching. Oh my god, why did I stammer like that? I have no idea. But see you guys on next time. Thank you for watching. And goodbye.